Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. No taxation without representation. It's quite a powerful political adage. It's worked well over the years. And that's really what people were facing in many parts of the country, paying their council tax but not being able to have a say, and in certain cases, elected county councillors who would stay in position for a full 7 years. But it wasn't just the minister that did this. It was done with the connivance of the Conservative Party, who did everything they could to deny the vote in Norfolk, in Suffolk, in East and West Sussex, and initially in Surrey, doing their best to stop people voting for 2 consecutive years. And the Lib Dems did get in on the act in Cheltenham, though I will grant you slightly different circumstances. Talking of the Lib Dems, I've been having a very good chat with a very prominent Liberal Democrat who I get on rather well with, Sir Bob Russell, who of course represented Colchester for many, many years, who made the point. The last time there was fundamental local government reorganisation in England, it was 50 years ago. But no one suggested that elections should be cancelled, delayed, postponed. In fact, the debate about the shape of local government reorganisation became part of those campaigns, and they were issues upon which people voted. So I'm very proud of the fact that 153,000 people signed this petition, but I'm even prouder of the fact that 4.6 million people will get the vote on May the 7th because of the judicial review that I took against the government. So I'm very proud of that, and we will go on, reform will go on, fighting for proper, open democracy. But what is clear is that Article 87 of the Local Government Act of 2000 gives way too much delegated power to a minister of any government, and that elections are completely fundamental to liberty and freedom in our country. And I think what we need to do, and I'd ask the government to support this, is we should change Article 87 of that LGA Act to make sure that in future any delays to election, for whatever reason they may be, have to be the subject of primary legislation, an open debate and a vote by all members of Parliament. And if we do that, we'll never, ever finish up in this awful mess and lack of trust in politics again. Thank you.
Democracy isn't just a word. It's a promise. And when that promise gets broken, quietly, bureaucratically, with the stroke of a ministerial pen, someone has to fight back. Here's what just happened. Millions of British voters across Norfolk, Suffolk, East Sussex, West Sussex, and Surrey were told, effectively, that their vote could wait. Local government reorganization was being pushed through, and elections, the very mechanism that holds power accountable, were being postponed. Not for a week, not for a month, for up to 2 consecutive years. In some cases, elected councillors were left sitting in their seats for 7 full years without a fresh mandate from the public. But here's the part that matters. This wasn't just a Labour government overreach. The Conservative Party played along. They did everything they could to block the vote in multiple counties. And the Liberal Democrats, though in slightly different circumstances in Cheltenham, weren't entirely clean either. This is a cross-party failure of democratic principle, and that is exactly why it's so dangerous. Now enter Nigel Farage, who took the government to judicial review and won. The result? 4.6 million people will get to vote on May the 7th who were previously being frozen out. That is not a minor legal technicality. That is democracy being dragged back from the brink by a court challenge because the political class wouldn't do it themselves. The deeper issue here is a legal one that no one is talking about loudly enough. Article 87 of the Local Government Act 2000 hands enormous delegated power to a single minister, any minister from any government of any party, to cancel or delay local elections without requiring a vote in Parliament. That is an extraordinary amount of unchecked authority sitting in one set of hands. It has now been used. For ordinary voters, this isn't abstract. Your council tax continues. Your local services continue. But your ability to remove the people making decisions about those services, that gets paused. That is taxation without representation. It happened in modern Britain. The call now is for Article 87 to be amended so that any future election delay must go through primary legislation, full parliamentary debate, and a vote by all MPs. That is a reasonable democratic safeguard. The question is whether this government has the honesty to support it.